Okay, my takeaways from this experience. First thing, working in the 500, I can totally see how this is frustrating. Especially when you've come from having more access to more features. But it is very livable if you can wrap your brain around the way things function. This is a very limited machine. And by that, I don't mean in the sense of its capabilities, in the sense of power to sequence and produce, because this is just as easy as my 1000 when it comes to laying the samples down. The difficulty comes in with the way things are set up in it for you to get to certain functions. And then when you get to certain functions, how limited it is. I was assuming that this was going to be more along the lines of the 1000 where it comes to the program window. Let's start there. The program window in the 1000 is feature packed. Even without JJOS, it's feature packed. You have 4 layers of samples that you can lay into it. You can pitch each of the samples individually, which I'm assuming you could probably do here, but you have to get into the layers. And with a 2-line screen, that's a bit of work, but it's not impossible. So you have that. You have a filter section, a full featured filter section, where you can decide high pass, low pass, band pass, and I think there's like one other option. In here, you only have low pass. So you can, and I always get confused, even though I know better. It's low pass. You can filter it from up, bring it down through the frequency range, so you can just have just the lows, which is great if you have a sample and you do the old school trick where you lay the whole beat and then you copy the sequence from one track to the next track and then just filter it down so that you only have the bass. That's the old school trick for bass. But that's it for that. And then in that same window is where you basically do your mixing. I think there's a dedicated, let me just take a quick look before I even say it. No, there is no dedicated mix window. So you have to mix in program. And by mixing, I mean you change the level of the sample, the volume output for the sample in the program window. But once you do it, you've now set the sample's maximum volume output. So essentially, you're doing the mixing feature while you're setting up the program. And realistically, you probably wouldn't do this until, just like I did, after you've already laid the sample the way you want it to sound. Then you're adjusting, this is too loud, or this is not loud enough, things like that. So you start making your adjustments along there. Now, you can't go above a certain level because 100 is 100. That's what it is. So you'd be lowering everything else if you want this sound to be dominant and vice versa.